Let's continue blocking in our major poses. We've come to the point where the character is going to act as if nothing has happened here, if he didn't mess anything up. So what we're going to want to do is go another 20 frames now. Could even bring our time slider to the end here. Go to about frame 180. Let's now have him pick himself up. Okay, we'll bring his center of gravity back, and we'll even rotate him up. Okay, what we'll also do is adjust his feet here on the same frame, and we'll even turn on auto key and make sure that our character set is going to be turned on. So to set this key for the upper body, we just need to add a little bit of adjustment in with our move tool and also with our rotate tool to set a key in there. Or we could just press it and press or select it and press Shift W and Shift E if we didn't want to add that change, but we could go ahead and just add a slight change. Alright, and we'll straighten him up a little bit too, rotating him. We'll want to go back to his feet and just fix those. Rotating them forward in the Y, and could also make sure that the knees are going to be in the right spot. Okay, because of him moving forward his left foot, we'll want to bring back his right, so we get some natural footsteps when that time comes. For the hips, we'll start by just zeroing those out. Okay, and being that he's going to pull up his belt, we'll have that brought up so we can really start bring out the squash, the upper body here. We'll want to go back to the upper body control and have that rotate back. Then for his head, have that rotate the opposite direction and up. Okay, now for his hands, can go ahead and work on the switch. So for the switch, we'll go to frame 160. We'll select both hands, switch them to hip. Oh, actually go back to world and set a key there, since we're going to be keying this follow switch. And then on frame 180, we'll switch this to hip. And the key should already be set for us. So now all we need to do is fix the hands position so that they'll follow the hip. Alright, so we'll bring up the elbow here. And we'll move this so that it's a little bit more behind him, and then the other hand will be more in front of him. But we'll go ahead and undo that. We want to be mindful of our elbow control too, so probably want to bring that forward, and then go back to his hand control and rotate that down. Okay, then it looks like we could even take this elbow and rotate it more forward there, and then for the right elbow we'll bring that back and rotate his hand so we can prepare to have it have a nice grip on the belt. Let's see how this looks in our shot cam. So we'll go to panels, we'll go down to save layouts, and let's look at this, even hiding our curves. Okay, great. So if we were to scrub, you can see what's happening here. So he's saying, oh, nothing's happening. Nothing to see here, folks. Let's go to his fingers now. We'll go to frame 180 and let's start curling those in. Again, we'll select the last three just to work on the primary rotation for the fingers. Curl those in. Okay, and then we can go to the last two and curl those. Great. And then from here we can adjust the hand so that it appears to grip the belt. Now we could even go back to the thumb now and fix it. Have that move a little bit closer in. And then add a slight bend to it. Probably would even need to rotate it in the X and then back in the Z. Alrighty, so that looks pretty good, and then we can go to the left hand and work on doing the same. So again, we select the first or the last three for each finger, just control clicking and dragging down to select them all. Curl in the fingers some, and then can go to the last two. Curl those in. And we can bring down the hand. Okay. Looks like we can adjust the pinky finger here. So we'll do that. Bring down the mid as well as the end. And then for the thumb, let's go ahead and fix this up. And bring it up in the Y, curl it down in the with the last two attributes, and then curl it in the X. Great. So what we have here is him now pulling his belt up. Great. This is all coming together quite well. Alright, now we're going to do something slightly different here. Rather than having him run out of the scene after this pose, we're actually going to add another pose. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is add a really cartoony run where his legs are moving all over the place as he's preparing to just jet right out of the scene. So let's go ahead and prepare that pose. We can go to about 240. Okay, we'll have it happen a little bit after. And to start out with, let's have the hands basically now follow the. We'll have them follow the world again. And if you notice right here on frame 180, if the follow switch for the left hand is set to flashlight, just switch that back to hip, and then just reposition the hand. It wouldn't make too much of a difference, but if you were to ever animate the flashlight, you'd probably want the hands to instead follow the hips as we planned. So just move that back in. Okay, so now, again, we chose 240 that we want to add the pose there, so let's go ahead and switch the hands back to world. Okay, and you can go ahead and bring them out. Bring both out. Fix the rotation. Okay. And what we're now going to have him do is actually turn his body towards the exit of the scene. So he's going to be exiting towards his left, our right. Okay, we'll have him rotate back. And then for the hands, let's have them now to a side, but we'll have it more cartoony where he's pointing his arms forward and the wrists are pointed out. And then for his shoulders, we're going to want to rotate that forward. For the hip, we'll want that to be brought down, almost so that it's stretching, because we're actually going to have the hips lead as he's running out. So this is going to be it's going to be pretty funny. We'll have the hands rotate up, and we'll have him actually look at us, at the camera. So as we rotate his head, we'll actually rotate his chest as well. We'll rotate his head as much. We could even look at our shot camera to see how that's coming along. Great. And then we could even turn on our controls here and position the hands. Okay. And of course, we're going to want a better line of action than that from the arm, so can also readjust them from the viewport. Let's fix the shoulder here for the right arm. Bring that up and out. And then to prepare the legs for their comical run, we can just start by bringing the left foot forward, and then the right foot we can bring back, bend that back, adjust the knee so that's down, and then the foot we can rotate that back. So when we get to posing out the legs, we're just going to use some really exaggerated poses. Okay, for right now that'll be fine, and then we could also rotate the hip back here. So here's what we have if we were to scrub back and forth. Okay, so he's playing it off, and then boom, he's ready to run out of the scene. So this is going to be a pretty funny addition. Rather than just having him quickly run out, we'll have him add a little bit of anticipation before the exit. Alright, great. Well, now that this has been done, what we're going to do is bring our attention to basically having him exit the scene in the next lesson.